Gratidão, queridos, por estarem aqui de novo. Thank you for joining again. Oh, Sadhviji is here. Okay, perfect. Now how should... Just one moment, I think she will join soon. Aha! Thank you so much for joining, Sadhviji. Thank you so much.
Wonderful, wonderful to be with you. I'm so glad to be with you.
I had a technical problem, so that's why we got this delay. But I want to thank you, everybody that is here, and I want to thank you for being humble. I want to thank you for all the service that you have been doing since always. You are truly an inspiration for all of us. The work that you have been doing, again, it inspires people to move. It inspires people to take action. So we are very grateful that you are here with us, talking about so many important issues that we are facing today, and that we need to gain lucidity to solve them. And you have this light of wisdom. We lost her. Wow. Just one more moment. Aqui, entre a conexão do santuário e a conexão da Índia, a gente vai ter alguns desafios, mas contamos com vocês. Just one more second, please. Now she's... So anyway, Sadhviji, I'm just thanking you for your life of service, for inspiring us, for taking action, for showing us the way, and all the wonderful things that you have been doing. I hope this hour can benefit all living creatures, because you have this power to touch our hearts and to bring wisdom to ourselves. So thank you so much for being here.
Sadhviji, it's such an honor to be with you. Such a joy, such an honor.
I always try to start every talk with a small chant, just a brief chant. Can I?
Oh, it would be wonderful.
Thank you so much. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Sadhviji, thank you again for being here. Thank you everybody that is here listening to your wisdom. This week we had planned to talk about empowering not just women, but also the feminine. The feminine meaning all manifestations that we have that talks about this force. And I would like to talk to you, I'd like to listen to you, talking about Mother Earth, talking about water, talking about the importance for us to take action and protect our earth, our mother, our water, our rivers. So if you can share your wisdom with us, that would be greatly appreciated.
It's such a joy and such an honor to be with you. Can you hear me properly? Is the voice coming properly?
Great. Yes, it
is. It's really such an honor to be with you, and the work that you're doing is so beautiful. That's why I said yes, that definitely I would love to be with you, because bringing that concept of ahimsa, that is what we need today. to our soil, to our land, to our rivers, to our air. Look, water is life. From the 9 months that we spend in the womb of our mother, to that which falls from the skies, irrigating parched fields, desiccated fields, to that which quenches our thirst,
Yes.
quenches our parched throats. It's water.
Yes.
Water is life. And yet, today, tragically, more than 1 billion people are living without access to proper water. And more are going to be in this situation. The United Nations estimates that by 2040, the world will only have half the water that it needs. By 2040, it's nearly tomorrow.
Yes.
And by the way, when we say half the water it needs, we know from the way that distribution works, that doesn't mean that all of us will get half a glass of water.
Yes.
What it means is some people will get 5 glasses of water. And other people will get nothing.
Nothing. Yes.
And that's going to be the greatest tragedy. You know, these days we're so focused on refugees. There's so many refugees these days from war-torn countries. So much of Europe has been really overflown with refugees over the last several years. And it's been such a massive crisis of the rights of refugees. How do we take care of people, especially the women, the children?
Yes.
And yet, it's estimated that we will have up to hundreds of millions of water refugees. They estimate between about 25 million up to a few 100 million people will have to leave their homes because of lack of access to water.
Yes.
Or because climate change has created a situation where all they have is salty water.
Yes.
But here's what's so beautiful about that. I imagine that a lot of your viewers, that a lot of your community are yoga people. I'm just imagining that a lot of your community, I saw the beautiful musicians you have playing, so many other wonderful speakers. And I'm imagining that we have a lot of a yoga community. And I mention this because the word yoga means union, oneness, connection. Now, that's an internal experience that we have between ourselves and the divine. But on earth, water is actually that which unites us.
Yes.
So you can think about water in many ways as yoga. The embodiment of yoga on Mother Earth is water, because it's what our human bodies are made of.
Yes.
We're 70%, 80%, 90% at certain times of our life water. When we speak to each other, when we inhale and exhale, it's not only carbon dioxide and oxygen. There's actually water particles coming in
and now,
between us, right? Now, of course, with COVID, this is why we're all masked up, because these water particles scare everybody. But at least COVID has made it very clear that yes, when you breathe, water comes out.
Yes.
When you speak, water comes out. So we are water. We are each exhaling water, inhaling water.
Yes.
Water is that which flows in our rivers, into our oceans. The oceans are that which connect us, connect the continents, connect the countries, connect all of us. So water is yoga. And yet, through our actions, we are actually destroying the water on Mother Earth. And along with that, we are destroying our human sisters and brothers. We're destroying our animal sisters and brothers.
Yes.
It is the greatest tragedy that faces us today, because we have such a power to do things differently. There's so many statistics, but I'll give you just one related to water.
Yes.
The amount of water that goes into the production of one meal of hamburgers. So you think, you sit down to hamburgers with your friends. The amount of water that goes into production of those hamburgers is about 2,500 gallons, about 10,000 liters of water. One meal of hamburgers. Now, just to make that hit home, if you bathe every day, and you bathe not the way we bathe in India from a bucket, but you actually bathe from a shower head pouring water onto you, it will take you about 6 months to use 10,000 liters of water. What that means is, if you care about water, and you care about the more than 1 billion people who are living without access to enough, and you eat hamburgers, it means, are you prepared to go without bathing for 6 months in order to offset the water? Now, most of us have learned to be very good and turn off the taps while we brush our teeth. And that's good. It's good. It's little couple liters maybe we save here and there.
Yes.
But it's nothing compared to the amount of water that goes into the production of meat. And chicken, by the way, because some people say, well, I don't eat beef, but I eat chicken. So chicken is about 1/3, which means, are you prepared to go without bathing for 2 months every time you sit down to chicken McNuggets or a chicken salad or a breast of chicken? And as spiritual people, whatever our religion may be, we are committed to consciousness. We're committed to awareness. We're committed to truthfulness. The 8 limbs of yoga begin with ahimsa. Here you are, ahimsa. Right? And after ahimsa, what is there? Satya. Truthfulness. And then we have asteya, non-stealing. Now, even if we don't go beyond that, if we just look at ahimsa, non-violence, satya, truthfulness, and asteya, non-stealing, every aspect of how we live would change. What we eat, what we wear, how we shop, all of that would change. And along with that, our earth, our Mother Earth would heal. And this is all yoga wants of us. This is all spirituality wants of us. It's all meditation wants of us, is just be mindful, be aware, be conscious. Whatever you are doing, be conscious of it. So instead of calling it hamburger, call it cow. Right? Instead of calling it steak, call it cow.
Yes.
Understand. Yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, sorry. I'm just thinking here. I'm listening to all of your wisdom and clarity. And I always think to my heart, inside my heart, I always get this from people as well. And sometimes I feel in the same condition, and I need to remind myself that we have power to change, power to take action. Sadhviji, on this talk of yours, related to water, related to injustice, regarding everything that we want to change in the world, I would like you to give us some words. When we look at the whole scenario and we think this is just too much, we will not change this anymore, everything is lost. Humanity has done so much wrong that we cannot turn back. This is not going to work out. And people, and again, I include myself on this, sometimes we look at this and say, oh, it's too much, we lost it. And I'd like to hear from you, when we find ourselves in this situation of not believing, of not taking action, because I think the root of our problems, and I want you to please correct me, is that we don't take action. We don't see that we are causing all of this trouble that we complain about. And this is what basically I think we need to change, our behavior. We need, as you said, to be mindful, but sometimes I feel that this strength to take action is just missing, as if we fell asleep. And then one day you're just like, oh my God, the water is running out. We are killing every single manifestation of life on earth. We need to do something. And then, oh, again, it's just too much. I'm going to just feel sad here and not take action. So what could you say to us just when we find ourselves in this condition of not believing anymore, of not taking action anymore, of just, you know, just how do we stand on our feet and fight? I'm not sure if fight is the right word, but how do we stand on our feet and take action?
Beautiful, beautiful. First of all, we are not lost. We are not lost. We are found. The moment we anchor in our hearts, we are found. The moment we anchor in our truth, we are found. And even more importantly, the moment we come together in truth, we are found. When we come together in love, we are found. And that is what we need. That is the action. Is it needs to be action rooted in love and in truth. And you are right. A lot of times people are not acting.
Yes.
And then a lot of times we are seeing action, but it's action that is rooted in an ego in the head of
Yes.
what I'm going to do because I'm angry, or what I'm going to do because I have founded an organization and I want my organization to become famous.
Yes.
Or what I'm going to do so that I can take a selfie of it and I can post it online, or
yes,
those reasons. And that as a motivation, it dies very quickly. Anger is not sustainable, and as a motivation. And the problem with anger is it kills you before you can actually achieve anything beneficial.
That's great.
So even if you don't die of a heart attack, you are depressed, you are miserable, you are a drug addict, you are drunk, you've eaten 5 chocolate cakes and you're in a carbohydrate numbing stupor. So you become dead for all practical purposes, because anger isn't sustainable. And so what we need today is action that is rooted in love, an action that is rooted in awareness. And that is where all of us must understand this is not the time to sit this one out. We must stand up. Yes. We must stand up, every one of us. Karma yoga. Yoga in action. Karma means action. So the call of today is a call for karma yoga. Meaning we act, but we act how? In yoga, in union, in an awareness that it's not me against you. Yes. There is no enemy here. When we act us versus them, when we act out of this anger, then we run around like that chicken with its head cut off. There's lots of energy, but there's no direction. Yes. Mahatma Gandhi said very beautifully, what is the point of going so fast when you're going in the wrong direction. And we're seeing a lot of that these days. There's a lot of passion, a lot.
That's the Indian connection.
That is the dilemma, is that action isn't there. The direction isn't there. The speed is there, the energy is there, but the direction isn't there. And what gives us direction?
Yes.
Being anchored in ahimsa, non-violence, being anchored in truth, being anchored in yoga, in union, in oneness. And that is where all of us need to come together in our own hearts, and we need to feel love. What has happened is we have blocked ourselves from love. And when we block ourselves from love, then we become very lazy. We become very cut off, very disconnected. And then it's like, yeah, why bother? What's the point?
Yes.
Who cares?
Yes.
What does it matter? Someone else's job. I might as well just go to sleep or watch TV or eat food or scroll Facebook. And we also get deluded into thinking that just sharing a post or liking a post is actually, that's the other dilemma, is we've actually gotten deluded into thinking I've done something because I have just shared something.
On the
now,
internet.
Social media is wonderful. Here we are together.
Yes.
But that is what should inspire us, energize us. But then we also have to actually serve in the world. And that root needs to be love, meaning love first of ourselves. We've lost the ability to love ourselves. Most of us hate ourselves. If you actually get into most people's head, what you hear is, you are stupid, you are worthless, you are ugly, you are too old, you're too young, you're not good enough, you're not beautiful enough, you're not smart enough, you're not rich enough, you're not spiritual enough. We all of these areas, you're not enough. So we have to first start with loving ourselves. And then when we deeply, deeply experience that love for the self, then we recognize that that self includes others. So you begin with your loved ones, really looking in their eyes and seeing yourself in them. Seeing yourself in them. It's not the other as just an object.
Yes.
To give you what you want, to keep telling you you're beautiful and wonderful. To have sensual pleasure, to have a company. No. That other, that being is there for you to experience the truth of who you are. So you love. And then find a tree. Experience that oneness with trees. I've had some of my most beautiful moments in love with trees. And then it goes wider and wider and wider. So anchor in love, anchor in truth, and remember that for yourself, we know that thoughtless action is a problem. Obviously, when we do things without thoughts, we create problems. We say things we didn't mean to. We do things we didn't mean to, right?
Yes.
Parents always teach children, first think, then act. First think, then act. But just like thoughtless action is a problem, actionless thought is also a problem. So if we have an idea that says, I'm going to get up tomorrow and meditate, or I'm going to volunteer for this organization, or I'm going to do this, and we don't, two things happen. Number one, we lose the meditation.
Yes.
We lose the opportunity to be of service. But something even more difficult happens, which is that our entire sense of ourself changes. Now suddenly I am someone who doesn't do what I say. I am someone who doesn't fulfill my commitments. I am someone who makes promises that I don't keep. And that whole self-identity changes. And that's why it's very important to commit to doing something that we do. And what that means is start small. Yes, we must act. We stand up off our yoga mat. We stand up off our cushion. But let us start small. Don't necessarily say tomorrow I'm going to found a huge new NGO with $1 million budget. And within 3 months, I'm going to have done all of these new projects. Start small. Tomorrow, I'm going to find an NGO I believe in, and I'm going to start volunteering. Tomorrow, I'm going to give an hour of my time to an organization I believe in. Or even without an organization, tomorrow, I'm going to spend an hour making sandwiches, and I'm going to give them to the homeless people. Tomorrow, I'm going to spend an hour volunteering somewhere. Tomorrow, my lunch is going to be vegetarian. Tomorrow, my dinner will be vegetarian. I will make choices one at a time, actions one at a time that create change. And then slowly, 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 you expand it and grow.
Thank you, Sadhviji. Thank you so much. I think it's so important for us, as you said, that we can do something. And if we have this lucidity of, as you said, walking in small steps, we'll do the whole journey. But we need to start. We need to just commit to this action. And as said so beautifully, do as we think, and not betray this calling of our hearts. I think it's so important, and I thank you for sharing all of this. As you said about a vegetarian meal, the same thing about being vegan. Sometimes people just start just taking off the meat, and then they start, as you said, the chicken, and then they start, and all of a sudden they are vegans. And this is the whole thing, just taking one step at a time, but not hiding inside our homes or behind a screen, a computer screen, as you said, thinking that we are doing something, and in real life is just everything getting worse and worse because we don't take action. Sadhviji, you also said something very important, and I hope people are understanding that all of this relates to the subject, because if we don't look at ourselves, and please correct me, Sadhviji, will not change anything, because we are causing this. We are causing the problems that we have with water. We are causing the problems we have with the environment. We are causing, and we need to look into ourselves and really see what's wrong. And Sadhviji is just mapping for us trails inside of us that we can take to solve our issues, so then we can be whole, per se, to act, to take action in the world. You said something that I always hear, and it's an emotion that is easy to feel and to understand that other people feel as well, even when we don't, or sometimes we do in some situations and other people in other situations, but all of us relate to this emotion, anger. And sometimes it just gets about, instead of talking about the problem, we start to talk about our anger. And I'd like to ask you how we can manage ourselves from the standpoint of finding this action rooted in love, as you said, instead of anger. And I'll tell you why. Sometimes when we are going to rescue a master animal, as we say here, and we say master with all due respect, is just because they teach us unconditional love and forgiveness. That's all. And it's just beautiful to be with them. So anyway, we go, and some people just like get very angry. And I realized that when we get angry, we start to think about hurting others and not saving the ones that we want to save. But again, it's all intellectual. What I would like you to tell us is how can we manage again ourselves? How can we study ourselves to try to put this anger in a second place and love in the first? And then at some point, this anger will be on the third space and on the fourth stage, and it won't be even there. But how do we move into ourselves to really find this motivation in love and not anger? Can you talk about this a little bit?
Sure. So, first of all, anger itself isn't bad. It's a wonderful catalyst. So, if you feel anger, it's going to catalyze action. When we are angry, we can't sit still. We have to act, right? Even you're sitting in one place, you're very, very restless if we're angry.
Yes.
So anger catalyzes action. And that is wonderful as far as an initial catalyst goes. The problem is, as we've discussed, it puts us in the wrong direction. It doesn't actually allow us to be beneficial vehicles of that flow of the divine. So what we do is when the anger comes, we thank it. We say, thank you so much, anger, because you've grabbed my attention. If I weren't angry about something, chances are I wouldn't act. Life is very busy. We have all made ourselves very busy. Our devices have helped. They keep us on our toes constantly, ringing, dinging, bleeping, flashing, vibrating, doing all sorts of things that we've become the slaves. So we've become very busy. There's a lot of pulls on our time and energy. Anger is like a magnet for energy and attention. Whenever you are angry, all of your energy, all of your attention goes on what you're angry at. So we say thank you to the anger, because thank you for pulling me away from where I was distracted and for showing me there is something that requires my attention. So we say thank you. And literally we then bow to it like it was a guest. And it came for a little while. But now that visit is over. And we bow to it. And as we bow to the anger, we invite the presence of love. And as we invite the presence of love, we feel that love deep within ourselves. And in order to feel that, think about someone, something you love. Doesn't matter who it is. It can be a husband, a wife, a child, a parent, a grandparent, a pet, a tree in your backyard. It doesn't matter. But just think about someone, something you really love, unconditionally. And suddenly you'll feel your internal love manufacturing plant starts to work. Because the creation of love is within us. We think other people have given us love, but really other people have just catalyzed us to experience the love that our own internal love manufacturing factory is making. So you don't need another person to start it. Just close your eyes and think of someone you love, and suddenly that factory starts going and love is being created. And as it's created, allow yourself to know that that being you love also exists in these animals you're going to rescue. One of the most beautiful teachings of spirituality is that presence of one spirit
We are all one spirit, one soul, one divine, one heart. And we know this. When we come together, people of every color, every race, every religion, every language, all of us have been in so many situations with people, different religions, different races, who don't even speak our language. But you come together in a moment of love. And it's so beautiful. We've had so many of these beautiful programs here at Paramahansa Nikketan. I know, with our global family from all over the world, indigenous elders from all over the world. You don't speak a word of the same language. And it doesn't matter, because your hearts are beating in love. We've all felt that with animals, with trees, with a sunset, with the ocean, with the stars in the sky, with even a little baby in a carriage, not your baby, somebody else's baby. You're at the grocery store. You're waiting in line to check out. The person in front of you has a baby in the carriage, right? They're paying. You're playing with the baby. You're making eyes with the baby. And in that moment, you feel such love with that baby. You don't know the baby. You don't speak a language. It doesn't matter. So we all know that that experience of love extends and expands long beyond someone we know, someone we have a relationship with, someone who speaks our language. It doesn't matter. So you begin to turn on that factory by thinking of someone you really love. But then you hold that, and you know that that love, that being, is present in all. And you keep holding that love and keep holding it. And the most beautiful way, as you are loving that person inside you, is allow that love that your inner factory is making, allow it to flow into your own heart. You may even find it really beautiful to put your hands here. I find that if my hands are here, it's very easy to feel my heart and to feel it expanding and expanding. And as your love factory is producing love for that being you love, feel it flowing into your own heart. And your own heart is expanding. And you are now the recipient. You are the creator and the recipient of that love. And then you move through the world, sharing it, sharing it, sharing it. And just in every moment, ask yourself, can I choose love? Can I choose love in this moment? And every moment we have the opportunity. Whatever is happening around us, whatever people are saying or doing, we have the option to choose love. And so we make a commitment. My first action is going to be to choose love. Whenever I remember, whenever I am conscious and aware and mindful, choose love, choose love, choose love.
How wonderful, Sadhviji. Thank you so much. Sadhviji, I will, sure, and I think many other people think about your words, all of them, and really anchor them in our hearts. And remember to choose love, and remember to take action, and remember that we are not lost. It's all, I know, I can tell from my own experience, and I know some people listening to this, and I know people are just grateful as much as we are here. From a practical standpoint, Sadhviji, I'd like you to talk about, I mean, we talked about the water, we talked about these inner reactions and emotions, and now we have this whole world that we talked about that we need to change. And I know that you people at Paramahansa Nikketan, you guys are doing such a wonderful job. And it's just a light in darkness, knowing that you people are just standing up and again taking action and inspire around. And I don't think many people, or all the people listening to us right now, listening to you right now, they know what you're doing. And sometimes I wonder what kind of support you need. So I'd like to ask this question from two standpoints. One, from just sharing with people that we can do something, and they are showing this to us. They are cleaning Mother Ganga, they are helping people, they are saving master animals, they are doing a wonderful social job. Everywhere you put your eyes, they are working. So I think we can get inspired by their projects and by their deeds. And from another standpoint, in talking about these projects that you are leading, how can we support you?
So the word Parmar, our ashram's name is,
and the word Parmar literally means dedicated to the welfare of all. So whatever you are doing in your way to serve Mother Earth, Mother Nature. We just celebrated International Women's Day, and all over the world we were celebrating and honoring women. But what about our Mother Earth, our Mother Nature? In the Sanskrit language, it's very beautiful. The word for nature, Prakriti, is female. The word for the creation, Shakti, female. The word for the energy that creates nature and creates the creation, Shakti, female. So when we talk about women and women's empowerment and women's upliftment and women's equality and women's rights, we have to not leave Mother Earth and Mother Nature out of that beautiful prayer and commitment. So wherever you are, in whatever way that you can honor and serve and love Mother Earth, because we're all connected.
Yes.
The air in Brazil actually becomes one with the air here in Rishikesh. The waters run into each other. As I said in the beginning, they run into each other. They become one.
Yes.
This is one Earth planet. And what we do to the Earth, we are doing to ourselves and we are doing to each other. Yes. So when you think about Paramath, Paramath, as I said, means dedicated to the welfare of all. So it's all, wherever you are. Go vegetarian. Go vegan. Buy organic. I know it's a little more expensive. I once heard many, many years ago, this was probably almost 30 years ago, certainly at least 25 years ago, I heard John Robbins, who's one of my great heroes, the author of Diet for New America, and he's really a great pioneer in going vegetarian for environmental reasons. I heard him say about organic food, and people said, oh, but it's so much more expensive. And he said, do one thing. He said, take your health insurance premium. Take all of what you're paying for health insurance every month. Most people have health insurance that covers every doctor's visit, every medicine, every checkup. He said, instead of that, instead of the most expensive premiums that cover everything, buy what we call major medical. Means if you get hit by a car, it'll cover it. If you get some horrible illness and you're terminally ill, it'll cover it. But it doesn't cover your day-to-day doctor's visits, doesn't cover day-to-day prescriptions. He said, take the amount of money that you save between paying for the most expensive insurance and that just major medical insurance. Take that money, use it to buy organic food instead of non-organic food. And you won't need all those doctor's appointments. You won't need all that medicine. You will be healthier and the earth will be healthier. So buy organic. And yes, of course, it is a little more expensive, but the more of us who demand it, the more the price will go down. Every year it's getting better. Every year more and more people are buying organic. The price is becoming closer and closer to being the same as non-organic. But whether it's our food, whether it's our cotton of our clothing, whether it's our shampoo, whether it's our toothpaste, whatever it is, buy organic. Because that which goes onto the crop, the pesticides, the chemicals, not only do they make the crops toxic and then you get sick from eating it, but they seep into the groundwater, into the soil, and then into our rivers. And then downstream, people who are drinking that water, they get sick and they die. And so when we shop organic and fair trade, now again, it's a little more expensive, but make sure that whatever you're buying, that you know the cost of it. The cost is not just what's on the price tag. The cost is the cost to the farmers who were growing and picking the cotton, to the women and the children who were working in sweatshops in third world countries, so that we can have more, cheaper. We need to live consciously. So eat consciously, dress consciously, shop consciously. And yes, maybe you have fewer things, but that's okay. Simplicity is beauty. We live simply so that others may simply live. And the greatest thing that you can do, because as you spoke so beautifully about us, in this anger, how we feel angry, how we feel depressed, and then we don't act, get connected. Get connected to God. It doesn't matter your religion. It doesn't matter how you worship. It doesn't matter what name, what form you use. But get connected to spirit, to soul, to consciousness, to divinity. Because when you are, and you understand that who you are is whole, is full, is divine, is perfect, you are not your body. You are not your skin color. You are not your waist size. You are not the money in your bank account. You are divine. You are, we say, Aham Brahmasmi. We say, so hum. We chant these beautiful mantras that remind us, I am the divine. Aham Brahmasmi. I am the divine. So hum, I am that. Remember, you are divine. You don't need to buy more, own more, eat more, drink more, consume more in order to feel whole and full and complete. So the closer you are to the divine within you, the more peaceful you will be, the more love-filled you will be, which means the greater of an asset to Mother Earth you will be. So that's a very important piece that you can do for Paramath. And lastly, come home. Come to the banks of Ganga. As you shared, we're doing so much seva here. It's such a beautiful blessing to be able to serve. We run free schools, free women's programs, empowerment programs, vocational training programs, environmental programs, free medical care programs. So whatever skills you have, come home, bring your skills, volunteer with us, come and stay on the banks of Mother Ganga. It would be so, so wonderful. And all skills, all abilities are wonderful because everything can be used as a beautiful instrument in the hands of the divine.
Sadhviji, it's just so beautiful to hear from you, to listen to you, to feel your words, because you have this power. I believe that because you speak from your soul, when I listen to the words, it's not something that my mind receives, and I am hoping that other people are feeling the same, and I trust they are, because anchored in your heart, you lead us to our hearts. And it's just something very beautiful, because I am not just understanding your words, and I am just putting it here again, vibrating and hoping that other people will feel in their hearts as well. We are not just understanding, we are feeling your words. And when we feel, I believe this connection to love, this pathway to the heart, it's there, it happens. So I'm obviously thankful for all wisdom that you shared, that now I can talk about, I can think about, but I'm also truly thankful for all wisdom that anchored in our hearts. And I believe this is a motivation for all of us to practice your words of remembering love, of serving, of being divine, and all other wisdom again that you shared with us. Sadhviji, on a last note to close this talk, I would like to know from you what kind of meditation we can make or reflection we can make to get past the pandemic that is here right now. It's everywhere, and it's driving people out of their minds, out of their bodies, and really making us think, I truly believe, about how we live in a better world and how we stop creating this to ourselves. I think we lost connection. Let's see. Sorry, I think we lost connection. Are you there?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me, Sadhviji?
I can hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Anyway, it's just to close our talk. I saw that we lost connection for 1 second.
No, I heard you. Yes.
Oh, you heard? Okay.
I did.
Okay.
I did.
So that's it, and just like to have these words of yours, and then we close our talk. And I'm just so thankful that you are here, and you are so humble to talk to us all this time. Thank you.
Well, I am so touched by the work that you are doing and bringing this teaching of ahimsa. It's one thing to chant it on a yoga mat. It's one thing to read it in a book. It's one thing to post something on social media. It's another thing to actually dedicate your lives to ahimsa, to dedicate your lives to the protection and the service of those who don't have a voice, to give a voice to those who don't have one. And you are doing such beautiful, beautiful, beautiful work. So it's really a joy to be with you. I feel you. I love you all for what you are doing. And for that meditation, as you say, first of all, we need to understand this will end.
Mm-hmm.
This will end.
Yes.
Everything is temporary. Mm-hmm. It will end. Now, on a not so happy note, other things will keep happening. because we are not living in wisdom. We are not living in love. And so other things will happen. But this particular pandemic will end. And at the moment, what it's teaching us is great patience and great resilience. It is teaching us to be quiet, to go within, to be still. And it is teaching us to be able to connect with ourselves and with each other in a way other than what we're used to. We're used to being able to just go out to restaurants and clubs and bars and yoga studios and all of that, and to connect. When we are looking for connection, we just go out. But now we need to go in. And yes, it's a global emergency. But I've been saying from the beginning, it is also this sacred opportunity to emerge and see. It's an emergency, but we have the opportunity to emerge and see, to emerge from our illusion, to emerge from our ignorance, to emerge from this idea of separation, this myth of separation, and to see the truth of our connection, the truth of our oneness. We have learned that none of us can be safe unless all of us are safe. None of us can be healthy unless all of us are healthy. That illusion of separation has been broken. So the meditation we need to do is a meditation on that resilience and that connection within ourselves that actually connects us deeply to that power and that presence within ourselves. So let us just close our eyes together for a moment. And we allow our awareness
all within to draw into the flow of our own breath. And as we breathe in, we know that we are breathing in from the world, not just oxygen, but we are breathing in energy. That same energy that has existed since the time of the Big Bang. An eternal energy. An unchanging energy. As we inhale, we bring in that energy that connects us to all of creation that has ever existed. We breathe in the energy of connection. We breathe in that prana, that sacred life force that fills us not only with oxygen, but it fills us with light and life. And as we exhale, we breathe back out into the universe of ourselves. We exhale love. We exhale light. We exhale all of that within ourselves back into the world. And if you find that within you there is darkness, there's anger or fear, stress, exhale that as well. You don't have to bear the burden alone. We are all one, breathing the same air. Just exhale it out and know that the universe will absorb it. And we inhale again that sacred energy, that sacred life force. And as it fills the cells of our being, we know that we are full. We are not lacking. We are not empty. We are full, full of sacred life force, full of eternal energy, full of the breath of oneness. And as we exhale, we know that in this exhalation, all is okay. In this breath, all is okay. In this breath, all is perfect. Bringing your hands together at chest level and rub the palms of your hands together. Feel that energy. And we place the palms of our hands over our closed eyes. Gently open the eyes into the palms of the hands and lower the hands. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om peace, Om peace, Om peace.
I'll never be able to thank you enough. I hope you feel our love and our service as a sense of gratitude for your existence, for your humbleness, for your strength, for your wisdom. And I truly hope that we can be together in a virtual world, the banks of Mother Ganga, here at the sanctuary, anywhere. It will always be an honor to be by your presence, to learn from you, to receive the love you feel and freely share. Thank you, Sadhviji. I'm going to finish with a Loka Samasta mantra. Can I? Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti, 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 Sadhviji. May you continue to be blessed and bless us all.
Love
Thank
you
you.
all so much.
Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for being here. I hope we have inspiration to take action to protect our Mother Earth, the waters, our brothers and sisters. May we continue to take action moved by love as Sadhviji taught us and inspired us. And may we connect with one another, feeling this love always. Thank you.